Hi there, I'm Mike and I'm the All Hallows Geek, and welcome to This Week in Eek, my weekly series where I put a little eek in your week by recapping some of the top stories in Halloween and horror news from the last week. Now, if you're watching this on the day it's released, you'll likely have noticed it's a little bit late, and that's because I'm just getting back because last night was opening night of Knott's Scary Farm. And it was our first haunt of the season, and God, it was a lot of fun. What's crazy is we realized we hadn't actually been to Scary Farm since 2017. And that's kind of crazy because it's usually an annual event for us. But in 2018, 2019, for whatever reason, we couldn't make it work. And then last year we did the fall food event that Knott's hosted, but they didn't have Scary Farm. So there was no actual haunt. So the cool thing for us was that while there was only technically one new maze this year, the majority of the mazes were all new to us, which made it kind of even more special. I mean, one, just the fact we're at a haunt, but the fact that there was so much that was new to us. So all of the mazes were great. I mean, Knott's always puts together some killer mazes. We loved everything. I will say the maze that's specifically new to this year, Mesmer, that one's a lot of fun. They put a lot of effort into that one, a lot of work into that one in terms of, you know, different type of effects and different, different elements to kind of change things up as you're moving through the maze. You know, the concept of the maze is essentially you're going to this big top event where there's like a sideshow, and essentially it's run by this hypnotist, and as you go into this, you're basically being hypnotized and kind of taken into his world. And they had some really cool effects. They have some really cool new animatronics and creatures in there. I will say there is this one particular monster that's in that maze. So if you're in SoCal and you do Scary Farm and you do this maze, keep an eye out for the violinist. This character is gnarly. Like, the stuff that they did with the makeup and the concept is gross, but it's kind of cool if you like gross stuff. So definitely keep an eye out for her. That was really cool. But overall, it was a fun maze, and again, it was just a great night. It was nice to be back. There was a lot of energy in the park. You know, when we were in Ghost Town waiting for rope drop, you know, we got there. We do the Haunted Dreams package at the hotel every year that we go, and that's kind of a cool experience because you get like a pre-scare dinner at the hotel. You get in, I believe it's an hour early into the park, and so, you know, we were out there at the rope drop, you know, waiting for folks, but then they also had like the general admission folks kind of at another rope, and like people were cheering, people were excited. So it was cool to have that Halloween energy. And just seeing people get excited for the season. Of course, as the fog rolls in, as more and more fog, if you know Knott's, you know, their big thing is the fog, especially in Ghost Town. So as that started to roll in and it got darker, it was great to kind of feel that Scary Farm Halloween energy again. And the cool thing for us, at least in California, I mean, being here, we don't always get, you know, fall weather, if you will. You know, it tends to run hot, especially this time of year. It still tends to be pretty hot. But last night was opening night of Scary Farm, and it was actually fairly cool. It was kind of chilly out that last night, so it actually felt like that fall weather. So it was kind of the perfect storm, if you will, but in a good way, in the sense that it felt like fall. There was a lot of great energy. So it was just a lot of fun. So that's why the video's late. You know, if you're in SoCal and you're interested in Scary Farm, you can definitely check out my stories over on Instagram at All Hallows Geek, as well as some of my posts, just to see some of the stuff from last night. But we had a lot of fun. But anyway, all that said, you're not here to hear about Knott's Scary Farm necessarily. You want to know about what you missed from the last week. So let's dive in. So, when you were a kid, did you ever think while you were out trick-or-treating, damn, I wish one of these houses would give me some Hidden Valley Ranch? Yeah, me neither. But Hidden Valley seems to think not only will some trick-or-treaters want ranch, but that folks will want to hand it out. Which is why Hidden Valley has announced its new treat-sized packets of ranch. That's right, this week we found out that the brand is thinking that because the dipping sauce goes great with pizza and Halloween's a big night for pizza, why not give the kids something to take home and dip their pizza in? So they're releasing new treat-sized packets of ranch. They come in half-ounce pouches shaped like bottles of the dressing, and they're going to be sold in a Halloween-themed bag of 30. So I guess if you want to be the house on the block that gives out ranch, you can actually go get your very own bag now in the shop over on hiddenvalley.com. And since we're talking about really bad Halloween treats, CandyStore.com actually released its worst Halloween candy list. Updated for 2021, the list uses 12 best and worst candies lists published by sites like BuzzFeed, HuffPost, and Business Insider, along with CandyStore.com's own proprietary customer survey data to kind of figure out what candy people hate most. Topping the list again for 2021 is candy corn, followed by circus peanuts and peanut butter kisses. And while I very much agree with the number 2 and 3, I really feel like candy corn gets a bad rap. I mean, if we're being honest, circus peanuts are 10 times more awful. Don't at me. Anyways, you can check out the full list of 10 worst as well as the 10 best over in my full coverage over on allhallowsgeek.com. And speaking of Halloween candy, are you one of those houses on the block that tends to run out? Well, Mars Wrigley and Shipt teamed up to create a formula they feel will help you to determine how many bags of candy to buy this Halloween season. You ready for it? Here it is. There's your math. You gotta figure it out. So this is definitely the most scientific approach I've ever seen to buying Halloween candy. And while it's definitely a gimmick, the numbers do suggest there might be some legitimacy to this. So if you give it a try and it works, definitely let me know. And since all of this talk of Halloween food is probably making you hungry, now might be a good time to share that IHOP's fall menu is available for 2021. And while a sequel to The Addams Family is due to be released next month, no, this year's fall menu does not include foods inspired by the creepy and kooky family like it did in 2019. This year, popular candy brand Reese's actually takes the spotlight as 2 of its candies inspired 2 new fall treats. First, IHOP has unveiled its new Reese's Pieces pancakes. This delicious new breakfast treat is definitely something E.T. would phone home about, as it features 4 buttermilk pancakes topped with Reese's peanut butter sauce, chocolate sauce, some Reese's Pieces candy, and whipped topping. Reese's peanut butter lovers will also be able to try the new Peanut Butter Cup Cocoa, which is a hot chocolate crowned with whipped topping and topped with a drizzle of chocolate syrup and Reese's peanut butter sauce. Now, if you're one of the folks looking for some more kind of traditional fall flavors, IHOP has also announced the return of their pumpkin spice pancakes, as well as a new caramel apple a la mode pancake. The new pancake recipe features 2 fluffy buttermilk pancakes topped with warm cinnamon spiced apples, drizzled with caramel sauce, and crowned with 1 scoop of premium vanilla ice cream. That does not sound like breakfast, that sounds like dessert, but whatever. And then finally, I guess if pancakes aren't really your thing, IHOP didn't leave you hanging this Halloween. They also unveiled a new Monster Mummy burrito. It's a burrito that features scrambled eggs, hickory smoked bacon, pork sausage, ham, shredded jack and cheddar cheese, hash browns, avocado, poblano queso, and sour cream, and it's wrapped in a warm flour tortilla and finished with jalapeno eyes. The new fall menu is available now for a limited time, and you can find it at participating IHOP locations. And while actress Cassandra Peterson turns 70 today, happy birthday Cassandra, her character Elvira actually is only turning 40 this year, and to celebrate, Shudder has announced Elvira's 40th anniversary, very scary, very special. In the special, Elvira will make her horror hostess return, and like in her original late night series, Elvira's Movie Macabre, which debuted back in 1981, Elvira will lend her own blend of witty commentary to a horror movie lineup that includes her own 1988 film, Elvira Mistress of the Dark, the 1959 release of House on Haunted Hill, The City of the Dead, and Messiah of Evil. Elvira's 40th anniversary, very scary, very special, will debut on Shudder on September 25th. And while we're talking small screen news, Discovery Inc. announced this week that its network's Food Network, HGTV, and Travel Channel are coming together to deliver 14 series and specials, making up more than 50 hours of shows as part of a Ghostober event on the 3 networks and on Discovery+. Highlights from the Ghostober lineup include 2 new shows from horror filmmaker Eli Roth, The Haunted Museum, which tells the terrifying tales behind some of the most terrifying and reportedly cursed artifacts on display in Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum in Las Vegas, and Eli Roth presents A Ghost Ruined My Life, which recounts real-life stories of hauntings that have taken a terrifying toll on unsuspecting people. Also premiering as part of the lineup is the 2-hour special Jack and Kelly Osbourne Night of Terror, where the brother and sister duo will take part in an eerie investigation aboard the RMS Queen Mary ocean liner. These are just some of the highlights, so be sure to check out the full coverage over on allhallowsgeek.com to see everything that's coming this Ghostober. And finally, for those of you who live that spooky life but want to look good doing it, BlackMilk Clothing has just unleashed a massive new Halloween collection you're going to want to check out. Its Ghouls Night In collection features more than 55 pieces across the release, which includes striking designs in partnership with Warner Brothers inspired by fan favorite Halloween movies Beetlejuice, Corpse Bride, and Friday the 13th. You can see some of the highlights from the collection here, or you can head over to blackmilkclothing.com to check out the full collection, which is available for purchase now. That's it for this week. As always, if you enjoyed this week's video, give it a like, leave me a comment, or better yet, subscribe to make sure you always get your weekly dose of Eek. For more information on any of this week's top stories, you'll find links to the full coverage over on allhallowsgeek.com down in the description below. Until next time, keep it creepy.